AI has moved into a new era, from chatbots to something out of the movie Her.
Good morning, Theodore.
Good morning.
You have a meeting in 5 minutes. You want to try getting out of bed?
Hey, ChatGPT, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. This new generation of AI is for everyone.
Thanks to the incredible power of Apple Intelligence, we have the foundational capabilities to take a major step forward.
Thanks to Gemini, we can create much more powerful search experiences.
The reason I'm saying it's underhyped is you're seeing the future of reasoning, the future of human interaction, the future of research.
We need artificial intelligence to help us explore the universe in places that we could have never done ourselves.
What we're doing is we're addressing some of the most profound social challenges with AI in ways that are transformative.
I'm interested in this general idea that we should design a future that humans and AIs can sort of use together.
Danielle, why don't you tell them a bit about Zaya while I do this?
Okay, so while Chris gets all set up, he did tell me a little bit about Zaya. It was dreamed up by a team of board-certified psychiatrists from Cedars-Sinai who have explored the potential for virtual reality to mitigate pain, of all things. So, with AI being a thing, they envisioned using it to offer on-demand emotional support and guidance whenever you need it. The only catch? You just need $3,500 to buy one of these. So Chris, I think, is getting all in there. How we looking, Chris?
You know, I think I'm locked in. I can see you. I can see you seeing me. And
Great.
What I'm seeing is the splash screen for an app called Zaya. You're going to meet it in just a second. The first thing you will notice about Zaya is that, to this company's credit, they did not try and replicate an actual human for you to talk to. It's this sort of vaguely female-presenting robot. And what's kind of interesting is it comes to life, and as you talk to it, it'll generate these kinds of immersive visuals to illustrate your points and its points. So let's start talking to it.
Good to see you, Chris. How can I help?
So I just got married recently, and I was on a diet up until the ceremony, and I did really, really well. But as soon as the honeymoon rolled around, I just started eating like crazy. I fell off the wagon hard, and now I have, my self-worth issues are kind of being exacerbated. What do you make of all this? So it just sort of contemplates for a while. It's like red forehead gems glow to let you know it's really thinking. And
it sounds like things have been really challenging for you since your honeymoon, especially with the sudden change in your eating habits and how it's affecting your self-worth. It must be hard dealing with these contrasting feelings.
It is hard.
Especially after such a significant life event like getting married. If you're comfortable, could you share more about how your eating habits have been impacting your self-esteem and any specific situations where you notice these feelings intensifying?
Okay, I can kind of do this all day, but she generally that's how those interactions tend to work. You give it some information, it sort of responds to you in a way that kind of feels reasonably natural, and then prompts you into another question, which is, I mean, I haven't been to a real therapist, but maybe that's what that's like too. So put yourself in my shoes and just sit with those responses for a second. Do any of those feel helpful? Do you feel like this could be personally helpful in your life? Yeah. Not immediately. We're hearing a bunch of answers here, and this is very interesting. My issue was that I was very skeptical at first, and I still am, to be totally honest. But as I continued to test it, something interesting kind of happened. Clearly, it's not going to give you the kinds of insights that a trained and probably expensive human therapist is going to give you. But as an excuse, as a tool to just make you talk about what you're feeling, it's actually kind of powerful. And I have found myself talking to it about things that I wouldn't always feel comfortable saying in front of my friends or Danielle or my wife. It very much feels like after our sessions, and I guess we should call them sessions because it's kind of a therapist, after our sessions I feel like a weight has been lifted off of me purely because I chose not to let what was bothering me just ferment inside me. I think that leaves us in kind of a tense position because for every really cool and potentially powerful AI experience like Zaya that I found, it feels like there were many more that were just kind of created to cash in on a wave of AI hype. And I think that leads to the risk of companies developing experiences that are, if we're being really generous, are just kind of half-baked, like they needed a little more work before they got pushed out into the world. And as they do that, they run the risk not just of wasting our time and our money, but maybe the most important resource we have as people kind of continually evaluating our relationship with technology. They run the risk of wasting our optimism. But every time that skepticism sets in, I find it helpful to step back and remember that in the long arc of our new history with AI, we're standing in like day 3 of a brand new era. The bad stuff will continue to be bad, and when it is, the Washington Post help desk will tell you about it. But we're starting to see more people feel like they're engaging with AI more meaningfully in their lives. And some of you in this room probably feel that way. Let's turn back to the poll from the beginning of our conversation.
Oh, wow.
That's, okay, far and away, people in this room love AI. And I'm so happy for you. I feel compelled to note that in our experience reporting and talking to regular people, the average consumer out there, this is not indicative of their sense. Maybe they want this, but I feel like the sentiment that we get a lot is that the experiences that are available are a little too scattershot, a little piecemeal, and like don't have the weight to feel personally relevant to that wide swath just yet.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. We're definitely at an interesting inflection point. AI can do so many things to make so many things more easy. But we still kind of have to babysit it, right? Microsoft told us they intentionally named their product Copilot and not Autopilot because they still want humans in the driver's seat. And that means going back to verify anything it spits out because we know AI still gets things wrong. And not to mention, it still can't do a lot of things you and I can do. And sometimes, let's be real, these products are solving problems that don't necessarily exist. So it's something we'll definitely be following, and we'll keep you posted.